Our next showcase speaker today is a three-time world champion martial artist, one of 6 women in the world at the rank of Grandmaster, an international best-selling author, professional speaker, and the creator of the Wealth Mastery Systems. She believes everyone has the ability to master their wealth, have more powerful and positive relationship with money so that they elevate their revenue fast and make the impact they are looking for. So they make the income they deserve without ever having to need years and years and years of therapy, endless cycles of running on the hamster wheel and wasting more time, energy, and money and happiness to get where they want to go. In this session, she will reveal the powerful steps to destroying your limited beliefs with her speech entitled, "We All Go Home with Gold." Please help me welcome Laura Armstrong.
Hey, everybody. Thanks, Marty. Do you remember when you were alone? I mean, really alone. You know, you look to your left and you look to your right, and you're really alone. Well, you don't know darkness until you visit Alcatraz, one of the worst island prisons in the world, and it's located in San Francisco Bay. It's dark, it's wet, it's disgusting, and the conditions are horrible. And when you are in the solitary confinement cells and you actually close the door, you cannot see your hand in front of your face. Have you ever felt that kind of darkness, not just around you, but inside of you? That's the kind of alone that I'm talking about. That feeling when we were single and we thought we were going to be alone for the rest of our lives. Sometimes being single feels like you're in the darkest room because you are truly alone with no one to support you. Everyone in the world has experienced being single at some time in their life. Some of us just took the scenic route through singleness with frequent stops for wine, that would be me, and questionable dating decisions, also me, or the phase where your friends become therapists and your fridge becomes a snack shrine. And when you open it every 10 minutes, you're disappointed because nothing's changed, no one's added things to the fridge, and the same thing's there. Everything is easier when you are not alone. And today, I'm going to give you a tool that will help you master your wealth in so many ways. I've competed internationally for a very long time. And at the story I'm going to tell you, I had competed almost 8 years to try and win a gold medal in full contact weapons fighting. That's what I competed. I had made it on the Canadian team one more time. This was my 5th competition because they happen every 2 years. And I had decided I'm going to win the gold medal this time. So there are 12 of us on the Canadian team. And if you know anything about how professional athletes train, it's a 9-month ramp up. So you're always making sure that you hit those 2 days of competition, you hit your weight, your diet's good, your mental state is good. All of this training happens over 9 months and day after day after day. It's a grind. But now you're here. So we're in the Philippines on the other side of the world at the WCAF World Championships for full contact weapons fighting. And our coach steals our money. Not only that, he tells us, I'm not coaching you anymore. All 12 of us are stunned. We are looking at each other and he leaves. So being the troublemaker on the team, and the chief bottle washer, I gather everybody up and I huddle this up and I'm like, all right, everybody. And I start to get animated and I'm like, what are we going to do here? Are we going to DQ? DQ means disqualification. So we would just take ourselves out of the competition. We would have the opportunity to compete. Or, and I looked everyone in the eyes, are we all going to go home with gold? And I saw their eyes light up. And they're like, we're all going to go home with gold. I'm like, all right. This is our pact. We're going to do it. So off we go into our rounds and our different fights. And I get into the gold medal round. I've done 15 to 16 fights. They're 1 minute each. You're full out. I'm in the gold medal round. I do the first 2 rounds. I'm feeling pretty good about it, but it was an even match. The third, and final round comes up, and I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm at the bottom of my barrel. And I am like, how am I going to do this? And I look up and I see the team right in front of me cheering me on. And I don't know what happened, but I looked at my opponent and I saw they were more tired than me. Total bonus. And I'm like, all right. And I pulled the energy from them. I don't know how I did it. And I went into the third round like the Tasmanian devil. The round is over, the whistle goes off, and I'm like, oh, thank God. It's the longest round of my life, but probably one of the best ones. So we're waiting for the results from the referees. They're holding our hands, and the winner's hand goes up. And all of a sudden, he says, winner, and my hand goes up. I'm like, and I stood there stunned. I couldn't believe it. And then the tears came. I had waited so long for this. And I looked across, and there was my team. And they were the ones cheering for me. They were there the whole time I went through this. And they were the ones who helped me win. What's the moral of the story here? If someone steals your money, go win a gold medal out of spite. It's cheaper than therapy, and it's certainly shinier. The reality is that you don't have to do things alone. Support isn't a weakness, it's a strategy. So just as it's true that everyone was once single and everything is easier when you aren't doing it alone, the same is true that in your life and your business, something so big is going to happen that you're forced to realize that you can't do it alone. Why wait until catastrophe happens to get in the habit of looking to people that you can align with to support you to go through things, both big and small? What's holding you back isn't your circumstance. It's the belief that you must do it all alone. Those limiting beliefs, they can be debilitating, not just on a business level, but on a very personal and a very internal level, challenging the substance of who you are. It can lead to self-sabotage, imposter syndrome, negativity, depression, anxiety, and the list goes on and on. It's hard to dig yourself out of this hole once it gets deep enough. And this erodes our sense of self, our confidence of who we are at our core. And these are some of the consequences of what can happen. I mean, once limiting beliefs get comfortable, they bring their friends. Self-sabotage, imposter syndrome, and anxiety. It's like this terrible surprise party in your head that you're forced to attend and you can't get away from. Limiting beliefs move in when we don't lock the door. The good news is, and there is good news, this can change. You just have to choose change, and it can be challenging. But with the right tools, strategies, and self-acceptance about how actually great you are and believing it can be life-changing. I've seen people do a complete 180 when they decide not to let their limiting beliefs run their life, and they get rid of them once and for all. And this is when all the good stuff starts to come in. You can start with something as simple such as rewriting the script on your belief in yourself. I'll give you a good example. This is one of my own. I'm never going to make it on my own. It's just way too hard. I rewrote that script, and now I say, I don't have to do it all alone. The right people and support will be available to me at the right time for my highest good, and I'm finally open to receiving it. Rewriting the script is how your story changes, including the awareness and mindset around those old limiting beliefs. This is where the real wealth mastery happens. I want to give you a process to help you take things to another level and give you something you can use for the rest of your life. So I want you to give me a nod if that's a yes and a thumbs up. Okay, good. So when those limiting beliefs come up, I want you to ask yourself these 3 questions. First question, is that true? It's like fact-checking your inner critic. And spoiler alert, it's usually full of fake news, and we all know what that is. Second question, is this mine? It's like asking your brain if it accidentally picked up someone else's emotional baggage at the airport. Really, that's not my carry-on, okay? And the third one, does it serve me? Number 3, one of the most important. This is like asking your inner critic, is it a Michelin star chef Or am I just reheating negativity in the microwave? It doesn't serve me. I'll give you a good example. Let me tell you about Bob. Bob had very low self-esteem, very low confidence. He couldn't get his business off the ground, and he was working so hard every single day. And he just wasn't making headway. It was a very sad story. He felt like he was banging his head on the wall and not like in a rocker way. And once we started working together and figuring out what was really going on, he told me this story. Bob had an older brother and an older sister. And after he was born, his mother got pregnant again. Now they're all at the hospital, and she's in labor, and the baby is stillborn. One of the most traumatic events in a family's life. Still in the hospital, Bob's mother looks at him right in the eye and says, "This is all your fault. If I hadn't had you, I would have been able to have this baby." She said this to him every day for years and years and years. Is it any wonder he started to believe it? That he wasn't good enough, that he deserved to die. As an adult, he ended up getting divorced because in his case, he just didn't have enough self-confidence. He was not the man he wanted to be, and this reflected in every area of his life. When we started working together and we cleared all this negativity, he became a money-making confidence machine. I saw that he was leading a leadership workshop, and I'm like, "Bob, what the heck?" He's like, "Laura, it was awesome." He had stepped into his own power, and it was just a matter of time, I'm telling you, till someone finds out how amazing he is, because he's a catch. His kids have a new respect for him. He walks around with his head held high. You now have the awareness that you can reframe your limiting belief language. Anything is possible. In fact, you've already started the process. Now, you don't have to wait till you get home or off this Zoom call. Ask yourself, is it acceptable to stay where you are? Now that you have imagined what life would be like, if you do make the change, imagine a year from now if you haven't. How would your life look, your health, your marriage? Where will things be if you don't make this change? I encourage you to say and take those limiting beliefs and crush them like a winning fighter in a martial arts tournament. The core potential here is so much easier when you are aligned with the support that you need. If you follow the steps to destroying your limiting beliefs, do it like a world champion fighter. Isn't it time you hit the upgrade button in your life? Do you remember that story at the beginning when I was in Alcatraz and I was in that dark, solitary confinement? Well, what I didn't say is once they turned on the lights, it was such a relief to be able to see and get out of that cell. I couldn't get out of there fast enough. And suddenly the world looked very, very different to me. Are you ready to come out of that solitary confinement cell and embrace your potential and accelerate your health and your wealth? It's already begun. You don't need to wait till you get home. You have a rare opportunity to take true action with everything you just experienced here, and all that happened in just a few minutes. Isn't it time to become the world champion of your business and your life?